Chameleon's Tale is the first one. It's a travel memoir. It talks about my life in the sense of the Idi Amin expulsion, in the sense of why the need to travel. Really, the basic theme through this book is a person who's lost his country and his culture and is looking for a place to call home over 3 decades. Really, that was a wonderful excuse to just travel because I had the opportunity to do so. Well, let's be fair, I didn't have the opportunity in the sense of money. I had the opportunity in the sense of will and not really having the resources, but I created the resources so I could travel in different parts of the world. So that's what this book is about, looking for a place to call home. This other book is a revised version of this Chameleon's Tale called Thank You Idi Amin, published in India. But it's got 20,000, 30,000 other new words in revised version because it gave me an opportunity to put in a lot of the things that I was not able to with the first publisher. And I like the title that the editor, a friend of mine, came up with, saying, listen, you know, there's a couple of places where you thank Idi Amin and you talk about the fact that when you're in Hyde Park thanking Idi Amin in the streets of London and you're realizing that your political awareness is coming home to roost, why don't you just call the damn book Thank You Idi Amin instead of A Chameleon's Tale? Just because you're fascinated with the symbol of a chameleon changing colors all the time, like you have been with languages and culture, doesn't mean that everybody else can relate to it. But people will relate to Thank You Idi Amin because that's an anomaly. That's an oxymoron. So I did. The third book is a book that's now an ebook called Global Crossroads, and it's on Amazon and on Apple. It's got 10 stories, 2 of them almost mini novel length, that focuses on a lot of the other travels that are not covered in these books and focuses on cross-cultural issues. Because in my opinion, in my humble opinion, understanding cultures is the major flaw that we have in today's world in terms of trying to figure out why there is so much violence and ethnic conflict. It really boils down to cultures. And the more we understand cultural values from any and every, whether it's a minority or a majority in the human population, right? The more we're able to say, aha, now I understand why the Americans are bombing Iraq or Afghanistan, or now I understand why there is so much antagonism on the part of certain countries or people in south of the equator about the north. You know, I'm simplifying it. Of course, with culture goes economics and politics too, huh? But anytime you see a think tank, I guarantee you to look deeper into the people that make up the think tank, and you will see that more often than not, they have very little idea of the culture they're dealing with in terms of being experts on Palestine or what have you. To me, that's the key. And therefore, I talk a lot about cross-cultural issues in a global context with different stories in the third book. And the fourth book that I'm working on is a collection of poems, essays, and letters, of which I'd like to recite one if time allows, to give you a taste of some of the kind of writing that I do. And that's where I'm at. I'm close to finishing up that collection of poems, essays, and letters. And again, it's a trip around the world, but using the format of poems, essays, and letters as opposed to creative nonfiction or other such material.